We're just having some fun here in the Gallows Hill Witchery offices.
Beautiful hair.
Look
at that. You can come here and bring that home.
Oh, it's got its home.
Oh, it has a home.
I'm babysitting it until she comes and picks it up. Yes.
Well, somebody's got some big balls.
Leslie
does have
this is Leslie's obsidian sphere. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yes. Definitely one of the largest spheres that we've had here. So, but yes, we're having a moment with it. We're just having a moment. How's everybody doing? Normally I'd be like looking at you
and I'd be looking at you.
And now we have to look at each other on here.
Well, it's weird because I feel like I'm talking to myself, but that's all right.
That's okay.
It's all right.
You can talk to yourself. I'm looking at you on the screen.
Yes, I think I have to look
I'm
at you.
I'm going to look at you. Or I look right into the camera.
Yes.
That's the other thing. Is like you can just look right into the little green dot.
Listen,
hello, little green dot.
After last tea tot, psychic tea, and I disappeared and never to return. I think this is a safer way to go.
This definitely is a safer way to go. It's a safer way to go. Although it looks like my desk has a bit of a mess on it, but that's okay.
It's all right.
That's all right. That's
you're
the
busy.
sign of a creative mind.
Yes, creative mind, and also busy businesswoman.
Busy businesswoman. Yes. Yes. Boss witch.
Boss witch. So roll call. Hi everyone.
Hello.
Happy summer so far.
Yes. I mean we're not quite there yet.
Yeah.
We're working on it. We're just about to usher summer in, actually. We're about to usher it in. I'm kind of hanging on to spring a little bit this year. We've actually had a spring this year. I don't know what your weather's been like, but around here, we actually had a cool spring where we didn't rush headlong right into a humid sauna of, blaring sunlight every single minute. So it's actually been nice. Ocean breezes. Can you hear the water in the background, by the way? It gives the office a lovely vibe. And since we were talking about water today, I was like, it went on and I went, yeah, I'm going to let it stay on. It went on for its usual daily routine. And I said, yeah, I'm not shutting it off today. It just kind of, I don't know, gives this place a nice ambiance, and where we're right near the water, right near the ocean, right near Mama Ocean. I just thought, you know what? I'm just going to leave it on today.
Love it.
So that's the vibe. So Leanne and I are going to meet literally right after this show to discuss our calendar for October. Can you believe that? We're already planning. That's what's going on. It's June. So I know for some people, it's like, they're just celebrating the sort of like halfway to Halloween mark in like May or what have you. We're already planning October. We are already getting our ducks in a row. We're going to talk about Celebrate Samhain, which we are presenting at again this year. And this time, Leanne's not going to have a heart attack.
Yes.
She promised me.
I promised.
She promised me. She's not getting out of it. She's not making no excuses this year.
No.
So we will be there with books and we'll be signing. We'll be meeting people. We'll be teaching.
Exciting. I missed it, and I know it was a great event. And you know what? I get to celebrate Samhain this year, and I am thrilled.
Right? Can you believe it? That's actually happening too. Like we actually get to, meet with our people and actually do things on actual Samhain. It's wonderful.
It's great.
It's fantastic. It's wonderful. So, today we're going to be talking about water, which is like it's element. Leanne's solar element, and it's my rising. So, which was hidden from me for a very long time. And I thought I was Earth in my rising, and I'm not. I'm water, and it makes so much more sense. There are so many things in life now that just clicked right into place as soon as I found out. So, and if you don't know your big three, sun, moon, and rising, and if you don't know the rest of your chart, you need to hook up with Tim Soaring Wolf, who's going to be on here today telling us what's going on astrologically. Because I'll tell you, there's a lot. I'm feeling things. I'm feeling lots of shift, lots of movement, and it's been that way. And like coming off of that sort of eclipse, magic that we had, and I believe new moon was in Taurus. So
yes, it was.
There's a lot of luxury. There's a lot of, taking care of oneself, beauty. There's a lot of, all of that good Venusian stuff, and love. Let's not forget.
It also made me move a little slower too.
It can give you the incentive to take a step back, slow things down a bit, realize that, where are we rushing headlong to every minute of every day? We need to stop and smell the roses, baby. And that's what we've been doing, definitely, is taking a little time to stop and smell the roses. So there's that too. There's definitely that too. And what is our card?
Would be the Strength card.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's a lot of fire in this Strength card right here. This is the confidence you need. This also talks about well-being in your body, good health, body and mind. This is also bravery and also the desire to push through. Okay. And also, I love that this is done as a pair. Okay. Because some of our strength comes from, well, she can be a friend, but to me, it's the best friend in the world. That's the goddess giving you the support and the strength you need to get through your day-to-day tasks or even big challenges. This is the bravery and the roar you need in your day. Going forward, this is what I'm going to carry with me as I present difficult tasks. If I have to have complicated conversations with people, this is what you need. You need this for your protection. You need this for your own personal power. And this is, and also look at this. I posted something on Facebook last night about, women supporting women in business and the tasks we do. Here we go. We have to support each other. We have to say kind things about each other's practices, about each other's business, about each other's successes, straighten each other's crown. And this lion just needed a little cuddle. Look at that. I want to just cuddle with this lion and give it a big hug.
Right?
Yeah. But can I tell you, you mess with this lion, you'd go against this lion will eat you for dinner. And I'd like to believe that we all have a lion friend, whether they be, we all need our protected people.
I've been told at times that I look like a lion.
Yes, Sandra does. Look,
I have been told.
Look at this.
That I look like a lion.
Look at this. She looks like a lion.
Rawr.
Rawr.
You know what I love about the strength card also is it does encourage us to get our kind of demons under control. And it reminds us that while we may not necessarily have total control over others, and that controlling other people takes a superior amount of effort and energy, that we are in control of ourselves. And so if we abdicate that control and give it to other people, we have nobody to blame but ourselves ultimately. So we need to get that power back, take that power back, remind ourselves we're stronger than we think we are, more than likely. We might feel at times like we're about to break, but ultimately maybe we just bend, right? So like you might feel like, oh my God, I cannot even take on even one more thing. But if that one more thing showed up, you'd be like, okay, I guess I'm taking this on. So, also be mindful of what you're taking on, I guess. And that's that part of that Taurian kind of slowdown that we were talking about kind of links up with this too. And saying that we also need to remember to ask for help when we need it. And that was a big thing for me personally. And it's come up at different stages of my life where I cannot stand to have to ask anybody else for help. I can't stand to have to rely on somebody else. And part of that is probably some trust issue, but a little piece of that is also maybe pride. That's what the lion reminds us about, right? Is to watch out for our ego, watch out for our pride. So also getting that under control when you're seeing that. And don't tell anybody, but a lot of Taurians have problems with that.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Don't tell anybody, but a lot of them have big egos that they need to, get under control.
Well, you're going to hurt yourself if you have to do it all by yourself. You know what? Work as a team. I don't know who out there has co-star, but there was co-star told me that I work best as a team. That when I start a project or anything, to put my own personal pride aside, to put my ego aside, and to pull someone in. to share the load, share the spotlight. It's more fun that way.
That's why we wrote together.
Yeah.
We wrote together because it's more fun that way. We wrote together. We wanted to write together as a team. We wanted that teamwork experience. I adore cooperative effort. I don't like competition. I like collaboration. I'm not big on competition, but I am big on cooperation. So it's like, I like a team too. I'm a Libra, and that's, I think, kind of natural for us. I think we work best, honestly, when we're paired up. I mean, whether that's romantically, friendship wise, work teams, whatever it is, we do really, really well when we're teamed up. And so, this, I would also encourage you to take a look at who's on your team and be like, hey, and that includes your spirit team, guys. That includes your ancestors and, everybody that's pulling for you on that other side. We need to remember that it's okay to call upon them too. But when we do, we also have to remember we need to listen, because a lot of us are just barreling through. And if you don't, I know everyone's always telling you to meditate, and you're always like, meditate, whatever. I don't have time to meditate. If you don't have time, that's when you should meditate. If you're really super busy, meditate more. I'm telling you. And that gives you the space to actually hear those messages. And if you can't do the stillness and quiet meditation, then do the other kind. Maybe you meditate while you're knitting, crocheting, washing dishes, something that's almost a mindless activity that you can take part in and just be quiet and just let your mind kind of wander, and then the messages start coming to you. So if you can't just do I can't sit and be quiet because I have so much going on, or I can't do that because my mind goes in a million directions, well, then try something else. Try maybe a repetitive motion type of a thing, like a knitting or a crocheting or something like that, where your brain is only partially occupied by the task, and then let the rest of your brain just kind of open yourself up to receiving the messages.
So, a lot of people do struggle terribly with meditation, and they really don't know how to get it started. I just read an amazing book about Caradwin. I believe Christoph Hughes wrote it, and he said, if you are looking to meditate, one of the best ways to go about it, especially if you're struggling to dump your brain, fill your brain, allow fantasy and imagination to take over what you visualize, and trust in it and go with it. You're still getting the benefits from
Lou,
it.
can you get rid of this person that is spamming all of our people? Please get rid of this spammer. Yeah. Sunrise, it is not cool to come on here and be hitting people up for readings. We don't do that on here. Everyone should know we do not recommend Sunrise Frost Intuitive. First of all, what's your real name? What's your real name, Sunrise Frost? I have a feeling it's not Sunrise Frost. So, we don't first of all, we don't recommend anyone we don't know. Second of all, we don't recommend anyone with a ridiculous name like Sunrise Frost. So get off of our page. Thank you very much. Move along. Yes. Thank you. Peace out. I don't know how many shows we have to do where we tell people not to do that, and where we tell everyone we don't recommend when people do that. And we basically are going to start taking people out to the woodshed when they do it, because it's annoying and aggravating and rude. So stop being rude on our show. Thanks.
Rude. Bye.
Bye. So anyway, oh my God, waste time and take it away from what we really want to do, which is talk about crystals, talk about the astrology stuff, right? Oh my God. Seriously. Jenny, right? Jenny gets them on her, she'll go live and she gets them on her live. She gets people coming in and, saying all manner of things on the live. What is it? What is it about the internet that just gives people this free reign to be as rude as possible? I don't know. I am this way in real life. When you meet me in real life, this is me. And I behave myself online the same way I do in real life. So I wish everyone else were that way, because I can guarantee you that this person, whoever this person is, would not be doing this in front of my face in real life. I guarantee that. Guarantee it. Yeah. I got to see if it's me that can block this person. So hang on just a second.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah. Evidently, that's somebody that jumped in through my link. So I guess I need to block them. I guess Lou couldn't block them. But yeah. Bye. I'm really sad that you came into this through my link. That's horrible. So yeah. So get lost.
You know, your mama didn't name you that,
right?
Mr. Frost or Miss Frost. Can't gender.
So yeah. Anyway. Okay. What we were going to talk about today for crystals. I know I showed you a giant obsidian sphere, but we're not actually going to talk about obsidian, because we've already done protection. And if you didn't see the Evil Eye episode that we did last month, you're going to want to go back and watch that at your earliest, because that was incredible. And that would have been a good thing that would have been a great thing to show. But anyway, but I want to talk about some of the great, amazing water crystals. So I think the most obvious would be aquamarine, right? 2 words very much associated with water, right? So we're going to talk about aquamarine. Here it is in its faceted form, and here it is in its cabochon form. So we're going to talk a little bit about aquamarine. So I adore this. I adore the vibe of aquamarine. And when you want to combine that kind of calming, soothing vibe with also a psychic vibe and open yourselves up to everything that water is associated with, emotions, deep, deep feelings, but also deep, deep healing, and everything psychic, everything that water is associated with. You know, we associate water with relationships of all kinds, really, because you're talking about parent and child, right? The water of the womb. You're talking about, so you're talking about all kinds of interpersonal relationships when you're talking about water. And aquamarine is one of the best stones to get in touch with that water side of yourself. So these are stones that are going to support water signs, support you leaning into those water traits, intuition, etc. And helping air signs like me tap into those emotions. I am almost always going to think above feel. I'm always going to go up into my head, maybe overthink, instead of deciding, what do I really feel about this situation? I'm always going to lean into, what do I think about this? But I need to get with those feelings sometimes and really listen to my heart. And stones like aquamarine, that's going to be an awesome vibe. Now, in terms of worship and water deities and water, especially the goddess, I would say, moonstone is an excellent stone, and it has a watery vibe, especially when you get a beautiful rainbow moonstone that has a really blue play, a really blue flash in that stone. That is very watery. That's got a very watery vibe. And so when you're dealing with the goddess, of course, you've got lunar stuff going on there too with that. But honestly, like, that's definitely water for me. And so let's see if these are going to show you how blue that can be when you got a rainbow moonstone that's got a nice blue flash to it, right? So when you're dealing with anything where you're in, you're doing some kind of an offering to a water deity, you're working with water on some level, where you're either, actually invoking water in the circle or something. I think, a nice rainbow moonstone would be a good choice. And then Larimar, how can you not associate Larimar? It just reminds me of the beautiful waters that we saw when we were on the Caribbean side of our beautiful island in Mexico. Larimar is another one that is going to give you all the best of what water has to offer. And another one that's not as common, and people don't know it as well, or maybe don't lean on it as much, but I adore it, is Aqua Chalcedony. Look at that. It looks like a pool. It looks like a beautiful pool. And if you get a nice piece, you can actually scry in it. And so that's another really awesome water stone. And then the piece de resistance, right? When you get an anhydro crystal, a crystal that has water actually trapped inside of it, and a little bubble of that water is moving around in the crystal. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you this, but there's a little bubble of water in this, and this is a really pale amethyst. See it? You see the bubble moving? It's the biggest thing at the bottom.
No shit. Oh,
see it? It just went to the left. Now it's going back to the right. Now the bubble's going to the left. See it? Now it's going to the right. Anyway, so when you get an anhydro crystal, that's a crystal where water has actually formed inside the crystal. And when the crystal cooled to form, the water was trapped in a pocket. So it had like a gas pocket that grabbed onto the water molecules and made a bubble that cannot escape the crystal. And that's called anhydro. And so that's another beautiful way to incorporate water into your stones. Leanne's going to scoop that bracelet. She's like,
is there any cruises here? If you enjoy being on boats, cruisers. Or if you love being on water and if you suffer from seasickness, Aquamarine will help you. You know, I used to keep a little satchel of Aquamarine next to my bed when I would cruise. Go. This is
there you go. Else. So you could wear it. You could just pop your bracelet
put
on.
It on. It'd like help you with
help you. Yeah. Thank you, Sid. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Jess was saying that Freya, our guest today, gifted her an anhydro crystal. How about that? And I didn't even know that. Imagine. And I just brought it up. So anyway, so that's the crystals. Now, astrologically speaking, let's get Tim Soaring Wolf in here. Hey.
Hey guys, how are you? Good to see how it was back in the day with both of you guys in the same shot there, and in the season of Gemini, the sign of the twins. Both of you guys in the same shot. Right. I like to say Gemini is the funnest sign of the zodiac, only because it's mine, and I know that that is actually a trait of Gemini. They love to make everything fun. That's why I do kind of take pride in being an interesting or good teacher, because I feel like I don't make things boring when I teach. But yeah, coming up in 2 days, the new moon in Gemini. I know we're talking about water, so I put on a blue shirt. And but we are coming up on Cancer season, right at the summer solstice here in a few days. And I actually also have a water ascendant. I have a water Mercury. Therefore, even though I am an air sign, my thoughts are all colored by emotions and psychic impressions and intuition. And that is, again, that water element associated with the moon. I love following the moon. It does affect me tremendously as well, because it's kind of the ruler of my chart. But yes, with this new moon coming up, of course, in Gemini, you know, this Gemini is all about adaptability, curiosity, versatility, learning basic stuff, you know, just learning in general. So as you were talking about being open to things, this is a great time to be open to those messages of the universe. You know, Gemini is about communication. So this new moon definitely going to probably see effects of communication, maybe improved communication, listening, collaborations, networking, talking about teamwork a little bit here, but also embracing diverse perspectives, looking at things a little different, and just nurturing that curiosity and learning that comes with this Gemini new moon. When we talk about harnessing this energy of the moon, of course, we want to set our intentions by creating the sacred space, the quiet space where we can right with Gemini, writing, journaling, and speaking things into existence is going to be super important in the next few days. So, I mean, I've already been doing it this whole month because this is kind of like my season, and had my solar return, my lunar return already. But yeah, this is going to be a great time to just speak into existence what you want. And that goes also to not saying, if you have to put the word don't before it, like try not to say that. Instead, say what you want to say. So instead of saying like, don't steal, say something like, I'm going to be protected from theft, something positive. So try to reverse those negative talk, even about yourself. If you're having negative feelings about yourself, turn it into what you want to see yourself become, turn it into what you want to see happen, and just, speak those into existence. But yes, I love following the transits of the moon. And as we get into Cancer season, that's going to be important. Oh, I did want to mention you talking about the moon. The lunar nodes were coming up on the shift. This only happens every 18 months. And we are leaving the Taurus cycle, Taurus Scorpio cycle we were in, entering into the Aries Libra cycle for the next 18 months. And that is going to be in July. So that'll be next month. We got a couple retrogrades happening. We've got Saturn later this month, and then Neptune. So later this month, as the month comes to a close, be ready for a test of boundaries, test of blurring of boundaries, perhaps, and maybe even some of breaking of those rose-colored glasses and ideals with Neptune shifting direction, which, of course, is associated with the watery sign of Pisces. But yeah, with that, I wanted to ask you guys, talking about teamwork in this season of Gemini, what would you say are good practices to harness the energy of the moon with the new moon cycle?
Ooh, well, I'm going to pass it to Leanne first because
yes,
that's she's Cancerian.
Mm-hmm.
Moon's her ruler.
I love magical baths. I love infusing my bath with magical oils.
Speaking of water,
I turn myself into a nice little tea. I get a satchel. I put some herbs in there. I love working with different things of the moon. I frequently will use rosemary. Whether I combine the moon and the sun. I just know that I get into the bath. I need to be surrounded in water. Sometimes I'll go to the beach and I'll write sigils, or I will create spell work right in the sand, and I will allow the water
and then have the water roll up.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah.
I work frequently with candle magic using silver or lilac candles, and I give thanks to Luna for all of the wonderful intuition and gifts. I don't constantly hyper focus on what I want all the time. I need this, I want that. Sometimes it just takes a minute of gratitude.
Yes.
Gratitude.
I'm looking at the new moon. I'm always saying to myself, what was really great last month? What was really great over the last couple of weeks? And I really focus on the gratitude I feel and my connection. This is how we get our connections.
Absolutely.
Is through thanks. It's not always about, hey, what's the next spell? I need someone to love me. I want this. I want that. Sometimes you got to look up in the sky and say thank you.
And the water, to piggyback that a little bit, like you could use a little bit of moon water or water that you've saved from a ritual. Like, I don't know about you, but if we have like water in the cauldron, I'll take a little bit of that and cork it and save it away and use that in the future. If there was a really good energy in that circle, we were working on something specific, I cork a little bit of that water and save that for another time, because you only need a tiny bit. If you're in a bath, you only need a little bit, and the water will disperse itself into the water you're currently bathing in. So you don't need to bathe. You don't need a tub full of moon water.
Yeah. I always try the new moon and full moon is I always want to take a bath. I don't always get that opportunity, but I was researching just Epsom salt baths. They say new moon is great for detoxing, and then full moon is great for absorbing the healing vibes through the Epsom salts. But you guys, I mean, that's just with Epsom salt. I mean, obviously all this other stuff will
Absolutely. Jenny says water remembers, and absolutely
water
memory. And also, what was the one thing I asked you to bring me back
Yes.
from your trip to England?
Water from the chalice well. Tim and I did a wonderful pilgrimage to Glastonbury, and we went to the chalice well. There's a place of pure beauty and magic. The water there is powerful. And
you only need a little
just
bit.
A little bit. If you drink too much of it, you'll get sick.
You only need a tiny bit.
Same with your body. You've got to think of the level of detoxing it's doing to you, that cleansing. It actually can injure you. So water is powerful. We always think it's mushy and loving, but water will come and kick your ass.
So, Tim, if you don't have time to connect by doing a bath, I want you to get your most beautiful glass, whether that's a beautiful, maybe it's a wine glass, a beautiful champagne glass, or just a beautiful glass of some sort that is see-through, okay? And I want you to place the purest water, whether that's spring water or filtered water, and put that out overnight. Maybe that's the new moon, maybe it's the full moon, whatever energy, whichever energy you're working with. And then in the morning, drink that water. Drink that water. Take that into your body. You let the moon shine down into that water.
Mm-hmm.
And then you take that into you, and you could ask for a boon from the moon, or you could just say, I just want to connect with this energy. I want to connect with this lunar energy. I want to bring this into me, whatever that is. If you're working on something specific, let's say you're working on being less anxious, you're working on being calmer, you're working on stressing less, which we all could do. Then you ask that of the water, and you can say, we're taking this, I'm taking this into my body for this purpose. I'm asking the moon's assistance on this. Please help me to do this. And then drink that in the morning. That's some fast. You don't have to be soaking in a bath for a half hour. Just drink that water. It's that witchy tip.
Oh yeah, I knew you guys would have great ideas.
Yes.
And that's why I wanted you guys to talk about that. I love working with the moon. I love the ideas. I'm sure everyone is listening is going to take those ideas as well. So yes, new moon in 2 days. Gemini is an air sign. So again, open to learning, open to curiosity, speaking into what we want manifestation. But then we got Cancer season coming up, all about water and getting in touch with our emotions and with the moon, La Luna. So this is a great time to be connecting with water, writing down these ideas. But thank you guys for having us. Next month is a big shifting month. So we look forward to seeing you guys next month. And thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
Bye, guys.
And of course, you guys can find Tim at his website. So now let's bring on our water witch.
Water witch, Freya.
Hi.
Girl.
Oh my goodness. How you doing, love? What a journey.
I am good. How are you? How are both of you?
Here's
Fantastic.
the three of us together, just like on the tarot card, the Three of Cups,
Which is
water. And we were
How
standing
beautiful.
right by the water. We were standing Winter Island, right on the edge of the water when that picture was taken.
Memories.
water, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So you're doing some amazing things, Freya. We are thrilled at Pentagram to have you presenting and teaching your class on water magic. Do tell us about it.
Yeah, give a little sneak peek. Let's hear a sneak peek about the class.
I would be delighted. So Beyond the Sea, it's truly a love letter to one of the greatest teachers that I've ever worked with, and that is Mama Ocean. I continue to just develop valuable insights from working with her, because if you just allow yourself to just listen to her, she can tell you and teach you the most valuable and beautiful lessons. So, like I said, it is my love letter to her. So in my class, we're going to be diving into the magical properties of seashells, because if you don't know, crystals and seashells have similar properties. Seashells have this delicious vibration, and they tingle, especially if you're by the ocean. So being able to work with them, you can utilize them with your witchcraft, with your rituals, putting them as offerings to the dead. So we are going to be talking about what you can do with them. You could even, it's not with me, well, it's across the room, but I have my little treasure trove. So when I do readings for clients, I will have them pick pieces of this. So we will talk about what is in this box. So we'll be talking about that. We're going to be talking about the magic of the ebb and flow, and just really diving into what does the ocean teach us, because the ocean is the giver of life. Sandra, you said it like perfectly about how she is the mother, just the symbolization of what that means for us as women, but also she can teach us so much about just navigating turmoils and turbulences within our life, because it's not always going against the current. No. Sometimes you just have to adjust that sail and just glide along the water. Sometimes you just have to just stop fighting and just go. So she teaches you how to do that too. And also grief, when you come down to it, grief is the ocean. It's the ebb and the flow. It's the emotion. It's just allowing yourself to just ride that wave. And it can teach you just so much about just the root of your emotion. Sorry, I'm getting deep here.
we need in our culture, we need to be able to sit with our grief better. I think that there's too much numbing of feelings in our culture. Everything is to numb our feelings. It's to numb us against pain, our entertainment, our, whether that's drug use, whether it's alcohol, whether it's, eating, whether it's, no matter what it is, it's all this numbing that we're doing against feelings. So leaning into water means opening yourself up to those feelings and grief, like you said, our tears, the water exiting our bodies, tears streaming down our faces. That's a part of that water connection with that grief and sadness and the association with grief and sadness. But also, what about when your cup is overflowing? That's an association with bounty and good things as well, So it's like, it's a balance, and a Libra loves a balance. So I'm all about that. It's all about life, death, and rebirth, the cycle, because yes, water is very much associated with death and going into the West and this whole idea of death in the West. But what about birth as well, the water of the womb, and the idea that we are so much percent, 90 some odd percent water. Our bodies are made up of water. I mean, we are here by the virtue of water. And if all the water on this planet dried up, we would not be here. So obviously it's the giver of life, and I don't know about you, but I ground myself best near the water. And you would think Earth, Earth is so important for grounding, but guess what? My instinct was never, and this is going back 30 plus years, my instinct was never to head into the woods to ground. My instinct was to head to the water and watch the line of the sea meeting the sky, air and water coming together, and that Libra line with the little sun in the, in the horizon, right? The sunrise or sunset, that's our Libra sigil. That's, the idea of being able to just focus my view on that line and take some nice deep breaths and listen to the breath of the mother as I was aligning my breath with hers and the rolling of that sea. That there is nothing that will calm me, soothe me, and ground me faster than that. Nothing.
Mm-hmm. And if you think about it, water in itself is what connects all of us together. Places, people. It was first we journeyed on water to meet each other, to see each other, to communicate with each other. Water is It's everything. It's the symbol of motherhood, but it's also the symbol of eternity.
Yeah.
It doesn't go away. It's always going to be a part of us.
Hopefully.
And it's where we go to heal.
Right?
It's where I go personally to fix myself. If you can't find me, I'm driving down to the Cape to find my parents. I have a beach right near where I am, but there's certain beaches, certain places that are so sacred that take us away from this.
I've been to
world.
that beach with you.
Yes, you have. That's my place.
And Freya, you've been to my place with me. We've driven over to my place.
Oh yeah.
So
That place is so sacred.
it connects us. These things, these places, water actually does remind us on some level of how we are all interconnected here and how we all depend on each other in one way or another here. The pandemic really showed us that, how interconnected we are and how much depends on the society, the idea of community, the idea of like, we are not like lone wolves out somewhere, you know, whatever, dude. Like we are interlinked, you know, we are all interlinked. The more that we honor the differences of people, that's great. But we also need to honor how we are all the same on a cellular level. Like we are all one, you know, and as much as I love, you know, all the diversity and I honor all the diversity among all of the people, I also want to remind everybody how we all connect, you know, and how, you know, we need to just, if we treat everybody better, doesn't this all get better? Doesn't this whole world get better if we can just be respectful, be kind, be, you know, it's like, you know, just, it doesn't, you know, and even if it's just in your little bubble of the world, you know, do it in your little bubble of the world, you know, and then hopefully it reverberates outward.
How does water affect your craft, Freya?
It's everything. Because, you know, a lot of people think that, you know, being a sea witch, and I do discuss this in my class and in my book that I'm writing, that putting on a mermaid tail and sitting on a rock and singing songs and just brushing your hair, that's sea witchery. It's really not. That's maybe 10% of it because you would be connecting with the merfolk. Sea witchcraft is so much more than that. You know, you're cultivating lunar magic because, you know, you're working with the tides, you're working with the moon, you're also working with the weather because that also affects the ocean. You know, with sea witchcraft, you're also doing a lot of conservation work because we also have to protect the water. The water is, there's so much ecology. And, you know, I don't know about you, and this probably is going to deviate from your question a little bit, but we have to protect the water because I keep an ear out for different like news things and stuff like that. But this year alone, 14 whales have just washed up on the shore. So that area needs to be significantly protected. And we have to do our part to protect the water. Like that's why we're here. So with my craft,
we have a family of orcas living off the coast. I mean, there was always just this one orca and he was out there like by himself. And now there's like a pod or whatever of 4 of them all hanging out there.
Isn't that crazy?
My babies, I'm going to go to the Cape and I'm going to call for them.
And what about the orcas that are now the whales that are tipping the boats because they're bullshit?
Yeah.
There's all that going on, which I support them. It's awful.
We don't want to see people get hurt.
No,
we're not looking to get hurt.
But the little orcas want some love. Freya, what do you do if you don't live near the ocean? Is there a way that you can bring the ocean to you?
Oh, yeah. So you can go on YouTube and you can type in ocean waves and you can listen to the sounds of the ocean. There's tons of resources where you can just watch the ocean waves and listen to them. You can create, like for my bathroom, I have a complete sanctuary. Yes, it's all the ocean. So I get into my tub and I'm in my sanctuary. I'm in the ocean. You can have pictures of the ocean around. You can have different shells. of what you've cultivated. That's like the word of the day, cultivate. What do you cultivate in your craft that you bring into your life? Word of the day.
Right.
But there's so many different things that you can bring in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So those are my top, right? Oh, and water.
And Charlene, I'm sorry. I was going to say, Charlene brought up that pearls come from shells. And I debated bringing up pearls when I was talking about the stones, because that is definitely another tangible thing that you can wear as jewelry that will connect you to that water energy. But keep in mind that how pearls are made is a nugget of some kind that is aggravating, that gets into the shell, and the shell starts to build up a defense against that aggravating nugget by coating it in a nacre. And that's what builds the pearl. I actually wrote a poem about this a while ago, but anyways, it is like somebody's, there's a line in the poem that says, a necklace of another's annoyance. It's like actually like something aggravating or annoying that shell, that live creature inside the shell, that is saying, all right, I don't want this to be rough and hurt me anymore. So I'm going to like basically cocoon it in this stuff that's going to stop it from hurting me. And that's what builds a pearl. So you got to keep that in mind too, which it could be a really good message to bring something good out of something troublesome. So it can actually be a positive message if you look at it that way, of you can bring a blessing out of a curse. Just saying, in case anyone's throwing any. Not like we're going to talk about how to turn people's curses into blessings for yourself or anything. But Freya, perhaps you'll cover that in your water magic class.
We cover it all. I try to anyway.
Very exciting. We're so excited to have you, at Pentagram, coming back to Salem. You have a lot of different classes that I know you're teaching and working through. What are some of the other things you're doing, Freya?
So, yes, I am doing Witch City Tarot Gathering. So I'll be doing a soft, I call it like an introduction to ocean magic. But you, Leanne, you're getting the big kahuna. Ocean magic. You're getting it all. The big kahuna. We are diving deep into it. So that's my big one.
Also, I want to mention, if you can't be there at Pentagram to take this class, you can take it online. You don't have to come to Salem to take Freya's class at Pentagram. You can take it online. You can take it from anywhere that you have a connection. You can go out to a beach in California and be sitting on the beach and take that class. So keep it in mind. If you want to take Freya's class, you don't have to come to Salem and come to Pentagram, because these classes at Pentagram, they're online.
And if you missed any of the classes, you can go get them and go see them now. We have a couple of classes
available. They're in the library. So head over to pentagramsalem.com and see what's there, because you can take Tim's got a fantastic astrology class that goes on forever. Like forever, they had to like get the shepherd's hook and pull him off at the end. He ran out of time. Yeah. And like that goes on. Like that is a meaty, chunky, like take that class.
Yeah, that's really good.
Tim Regan's astrology class. And then there's some other ones there. Danny and you have some. You got a mediumship one up there.
I think I have a couple of classes up there, and there's more coming.
Yep.
We have a bunch of exciting new classes that are available right now. We have Laura Zakroff.
Oh yeah, what's she teaching?
She's teaching sigil magic.
Oh, that is a really good class with her.
Yep.
She's winning all kinds of Cover awards and all kinds of stuff for those things that she's written on sigil magic. So take that class. Definitely take that class if you can. Get over on Pentagram and sign up for that, because that'll be a good one. That'll be a really good one. I might go in person for that one.
Yeah.
I like Laura.
She's got great act. We offer her.
She's good. She's got good energy. So yeah.
Oh, Freya.
I would go to yours, but I got a gig that night, honey.
I'm gonna run her gig, and
I'm dancing. I'm gonna be rocking and rolling that. You know what? You should come over because I start at 6. You should just pop over. It's right.
She starts at 7.
Well, just come for a half hour and then go. You could teach this class, like you could teach this class right now if you wanted.
Yeah,
you don't need a lot of prep time.
No, I'm ready.
Excited. We love Freya. I've known Freya for a very long time, and we have Freya, Sandra, and I have a lot of history together. So it's great to have you here and getting involved with Magick and sharing it with everybody. You are a Bella.
And you're writing a book.
I am finally committing to it because I have 5 that I've been working on, and I know it's bad, but I'm finally committing to doing an ocean magic one. It is time. I have been poked and prodded and twisted, so I am writing one about ocean magic. It is time.
Excellent.
Good for you.
Now you are also a death doula.
Yes.
You took some training.
Yes, I've taken certification classes. I have worked with lots of people. I have helped shepherd my own family into death's embrace. I have taught lots of classes about it. So I know a lot about the embracing of death.
Are you somebody that works with people to help create their kind of setting in which they are going to pass? In other words, do you work with people that are going into hospice or similar, where you're kind of creating? It's like when you think about it, we do all this planning for things like weddings. Yeah. And we plan the music and we plan, what it's going to look like and all this other, and we do absolutely nothing in general for if we're passing. So do you work with people on things like that, on what that day could possibly look like, and how people in the family could help create the environment that person really wants for their exit from the plane?
I have. It never really goes the way you anticipate because things
just
always
like
happen. Just like a wedding. It's just like a wedding. I'm like a funeral planner for that day. And it never goes the way you anticipate, but it's fine. I am that pillar of strength and calm for families for when it happens.
Okay.
It's great.
Super great. It must be an emotional journey, but you do good work. And
thank you.
It is important work. It's allowing people to have their last moments, but it's allowing families to appropriately grieve, to take away this stigma and fear of death, even if we could ease it slightly.
Yeah. With what I think is important is, with what I do, I'm a teacher at heart. I've been teaching various things since I was in high school. So for me, bringing that education aspect it's at the core of what I am and what I do. So when I'm helping out families, it's letting them know, like, step by step, like, this is what you can anticipate. This is what you could expect. If you have questions, don't be afraid to let me know. Like, I am here to help you as we go through this together, because it's a process, and there's no dumb questions with death. We're all in this together, and I'm here until the last breath. And then even after that, I'm here until the last breath. So it's a process. And we're all going to go through it.
It's one thing.
And it's hard, man. It's hard knowing that. It is hard knowing that, and Leanne and I have both been very up close and personal with death. And I actually held my grandmother's hand as she passed. I actually was holding on to her right as she passed. And nothing really compares to that. Nothing prepares you for that. It's just, you might think what that's going to feel like. And then it's a rush of so many emotions. It's bittersweet. It's everything. It's it's tough, man, but I would not change that for anything. I would not change that. You know, yeah, that was a profound experience. That once that happens, there's you before that happened, and then there's you since that happened, you know.
Yeah.
And we've had, you know, we've worked on all kinds of things, you know, relating to death really actively for many, many years, you know. And I have been doing death and rebirth, that ritual, for over 20 years now. Isn't that crazy? So, you know, I've been working with people about their mortality and realizing their mortality and how accepting that can free you from certain things and how it can propel you into what you really want to be doing with your life. Because once you accept and really realize that your death is coming, you know, and how are you spending the time that you have, which you do not know the length of, you know, we don't know. We can think we know, but we don't. So you don't know. There's people that are given 6 months to live and they live 5 years. There's people that are given 6 months to live and they live 3 weeks. You don't know. Even doctors can't really tell you. So it's like, you don't know. So what are you manifesting with that life that you've been given? We only know about the one we're in. We can theorize about past lives. We can theorize about future lives. But the act of knowing, what we know for certain is this life that we're in. So that we're waking up in every day. So what are we doing with that? What magic are you making? What are you making happen for yourself and those around you? What are you working on? And that's part of, I think, the job really of each of us is to acknowledge that for ourselves and allow others around us to acknowledge that. It's one of the reasons that I think it's so powerful doing death and rebirth is the idea of, you know, because when somebody says, like, let's say somebody gets a diagnosis and it's like they have 6 months to live, all of a sudden everyone around them jumps into action of like, let's give them their best life. Let's make everything happen. Let's be the Make-A-Wish Foundation and let's, you know, make all these spectacular things happen for them because they're about to die. And it's like, how come we don't feel that way about each other every day? How come somebody has to be 6 months from death's door before we are saying, you know what? Anything I can do to help you realize the life that you want to live, I'm there for you. You know, I'm supportive. You know, I'm going to help you achieve your goals. I'm going to help you manifest what you want. Why don't we do that just naturally? Why is that not our natural, you know, way to be with each other? Why does it seem like somebody has to get a diagnosis for everybody to be like, you know, okay, everybody, let's all pitch in and make this happen for them? I know no one has the answer to that question, but I'm just saying it's, you know, it's just that you must see it with the people that you know, when you're dealing with families that are, you know, that are like telling you things about, well, you know, we got dad's diagnosis at, you know, this and such time. So, you know, he like wasn't working anymore. So we took that family trip we always wanted to take and we did this and we did, you know, and we, you know what I mean? And it's like all of a sudden everybody's like pulling out all the stops and prioritizing, you know, prioritizing things that really honestly should have been prioritized all along.
They think that it's going to give them like a second chance. Like, oh, this is my redemption. They'll do anything to just make it up. And it's guilt, because if they don't do it, that guilt will eat away at them. I've watched it happen countless times.
Yeah. I guess it's to partially maybe people jump in and try to help do that so they can numb their own pain.
Yep.
We're back to that. We're right back to the idea of like, I don't want to feel guilty about this after this person's gone. So I'm going to do everything I can right now so I can say that I did.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of sad, actually.
It's tragic.
It's sad. You know, they're doing that maybe not out of love for that person, but out of like protect self at all costs, must protect self from pain at all costs.
Yeah.
I know that that's like a survival instinct. Obviously, it is a survival instinct to protect yourself from pain. We don't, as a species, lean into pain. You know what I mean? We're not like, yeah, let's make things hurt, as a general rule. I realize some of us do, but others no. So most people are like, no, I don't want to feel pain. I don't like it. And I want to escape it any way possible, and I get it that's a deep-seated, survival tactic, is like, because pain is the body's way of telling you, don't do that. That's a bad idea. Cut your skin. The body says no. Break bones. The body says not good, so I get it. Pain is a teacher. Pain's here as a warning. Pain's a teacher. And that's part of water's job. That is part of water's job.
I'm here to hurt you.
Is to show us, it's as, I suppose, as that gut warning system that, hey, don't do that. That's a bad idea. Like, how many people does Leanne tell on a regular basis in readings? Like, no, you don't want him back, honey. That's a bad idea. Red flag. Red flag.
Bye. It is. And I'm really glad I was able to help you, Sandra. Grief is something we sit with for a very, very long time. Waters can't always wash that clean. That takes time, and we don't want to hear that.
But water is good for purification. That is another thing that it is good for. It's good. It's a purifier. It's a cleanser. That is one thing that we do, use water for in ritual and, just in our daily lives, right? You take a shower, or you take a bath or whatever, or you wash your hands, or you brush your teeth with water. It's a cleanser, that's one of its jobs. But water also takes on everything you put in it.
Oh, yeah.
So like you put a tea bag in the water, it becomes tea. You put dirt in water, it becomes mud. You put spaghetti in water, it becomes dinner. But like it takes on everything you put in it. So it also needs help kind of clearing and cleansing itself. Like that's why magically we actually cleanse the water spiritually before we use it magically, because we know water does take on everything it touches. So we want to cleanse that water and make sure that it's, that it's good.
And sometimes you put in straight
Hence
spaghetti.
the salt.
You put straight spaghetti and water, and then it's no longer straight.
That's right. It's all of a sudden it's wavy.
Also, so wavy.
It's wavy.
Happy Pride. Love you guys.
But you put an egg in the water and it gets hard. Goes in soft, comes out hard. Goes in hard, comes out soft.
Oh my God. Now we're here.
Magick.
Magick is very overrated.
Bring blankets to keep
Baby
the
powder.
Sand away.
Summertime
Blankets.
tips.
Yeah, don't lay right in the sand. Nope.
Look good in the
It
movies.
looks good in the movies, bad in practice. No. Just no.
Yeah.
Yep. The magic of the blanket. The magic of the blanket.
Go to the ocean, make love by it.
Buy it.
But buy it.
Not on it.
Necessarily in it.
Scratchy sand, you fall down, Leanne drowns.
No.
Not saying that happened though.
No.
Oh, well, Pride. Next week we have Pride coming, and that's great. The night version.
Yes, Jeff.
Jess.
This is Psychic Tea After Dark.
After dark.
We've gone beyond the 1:30 mark, so now we're just now it's right. It's down the sewer.
Yeah,
we went. It's a waterway. right down.
I love it.
Went
Spaghetti
right
and I
down.
lost my mind.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
We
The
how do we,
filter has come off.
I'm not gonna ask.
Yeah,
I'm not
All
going to ask. It's an Italian thing,
it is.
right, Jenny? It's an Italian thing,
It is. My paisan. What are you doing?
right? Oh my God! All right. So
Okay.
so anyway, right. Yeah, I guess. So your action items for today, definitely. So go on Gallows Hill Witchery and book yourself an appointment to come here and hang out with me in this awesome space. First of all,
No idea. I'm insane here. I come in, there's so many things. I come here and I'm like buying stuff. I'm like, hold on, I need to look around. She has so much stuff. You're gonna go insane. I bought the best
this is the stuff.
Father's Day gift. Don't ask for Tim. It's just some amazing.
He's a
thing.
cat daddy. He's a cat daddy.
Yeah.
He is. He's a cat
I
daddy.
bought things and I love things here.
But anyway, go to pentagramsalem.com and
Yes.
sign up for some classes, especially Freya's class, which is coming up, or go there in person. Like either sign up to come in person in Salem, which is definitely an experience, or if you can't make it here for that, just take it online and take some other ones online while you're at it, right? Those are your action items for today. That and take good care of yourself. And I don't know, go to the ocean or take a bath.
Yes, and happy summer solstice.
Yes, because we won't see you
We
before
won't.
then.
Have a wonderful summer.
But we'll be
solstice.
spending it together.
Yes, yay!
We have epic plans for that.
Really, really good stuff.
Really good
We're
plans.
gonna have good stuff.
Yes.
I'm making a pasta salad.
Pasta salad. The special pasta salad
Yes.
from Beltane. The Beltane
Yes,
pasta.
the Bel-
Yes.
So this everyone. Freya, we can't wait to see you. We love you.
Can't wait. Love you.
Happy summer, everyone.
See you soon.